Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. In this video, hopefully, you'll be able to hear what I'm actually saying. Had a bit of feedback with regards to the sound in the past video that I did on team building in the World Arena, so I thought I would redo it, given that I'm up to Challenger 4 now as well. So currently at rank 19, it is what it is, able to get this high up. Enjoying it. If I were to get an additional 100, that would put me in the top 10. So if I were to win against, say, Uriah, Nathaniel, Glasnost, any of these here, it'd give me 100 victory, and I would then go into the top 10. What I don't want to do is overexert myself. As you can see, I got 9 of these tokens left, and I own 16 of the astral invites. Looking to get that astral invite up as high as I can, and looking to save as many of these challenges as possible. So looks like Uriah did challenge and Rista challenged as well. As you can see, lost 3 in a row against Exile. It's typically 50-50 against Exile. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. He's very good. Glasnost, I just straight up lose. This is a very funny fight, this one. Look at this. He has done 0 damage to me in total and still won. Just mental. Just mental. So I've turned the sound down on the actual game itself to give my voice a bit more presence, and so you guys can hear what I'm actually saying. Because what I want to do, I want to jump into my defensive lineup. As you can see, we now no longer need 5 teams, but we need 7. And if I were to get into the supremacy ranking, so it's another 754 off. If I were to get another 754 points over the course of the next couple of days here, over the next couple of 10 days, I would need 9 teams in order to compete properly. So if you do get up to Challenger tier, that's the tier that you should be aiming for. So everybody should be aiming for that tier, and people should also be aiming for supremacy, but you do need to save your tickets. There is absolutely no way that you can get into supremacy tier if you are above I need to change you around. If we are above if you are in, if you want to get into supremacy, you need to save those tickets, and you need to spend them in sort of the last 10 minutes. Because if you don't spend them, I was rank 11 last time. So in the last World Arena, I was rank 11. Last time I checked, and it was about 4 p.m. I then chose to spend some time with my family, doing other stuff, not paying attention to the game on the most crucial night of the season. And I came 118 in total on that last one, so I got to rank 118. Wasn't in supremacy, unfortunately, but you know, I chose to spend my time elsewhere. I had about 60 attempts saved up and everything, logged in, and lo and behold, was 118. So you can drop quite a number of places if you don't save those tickets up for that final 10 minutes. Now, these are the teams that I've gone with for my 7. I'll go through each one individually, but these are the teams that I've gone with for my 7. And let me just move my face over here, just so you can see the team builds that I've gone with. So for this one, I've gone with a Hades Soul Eaters. So I've got 5 Soul Eaters and 4 Protectors mainly. The Protectors synergy, the reason that I've gone for it, having 4 Protectors, is because I do want that reposit. So if we have a look at the Protector synergy here, what it does gives me so defense increased by allies at 10% every round. Don't really need that. But when received active attack, there is a 30% chance to reposit with a basic attack that deals 50% damage once. What that does is for this back row, so for Bastet, for Mulan, and for Hades, they will apply burn when they do that basic attack. So you do get that burn stack every time you are attacked. Now with regards to relics, I've gone for these three. So Underworld Key, I've gone with Bow, and I've gone with Night's Edge as well. The fact that we have 3 Mystifiers on this team as well, we do apply Corrode, and we do have that synergy going, so might as well use the correct relics or corresponding relics to that synergy. I've also gone with this. I discussed this in my last video. Not sure if you could hear it or not. But the reason that I run this is because you'll be down to effectively 2 units at any given time during this Soul Eater synergy, unless you can take out an enemy very quickly. You will stay at those 2 units. Now, what happens if Hades gets stolen? Well, it will be up to Mulan to survive for the next 4 rounds until that soul illusion effectively dissipates and you get your Hades back. That has happened before because this Mulan has survived, or because one of the other units has survived for the first 3 rounds and then survived into the 4th round, so we can get Hades back. That's the only way that I've found to counter the counter. So in case you don't know, Aphrodite and Wu do counter this team very heavily, as does Bind. So the Bind mechanic counters, because if say for example you've only got your 2 units, then the Bind mechanic will apply to these 2 units. It doesn't apply to anybody else, and you're just sort of left stranded. It's a very powerful effect. Very, very powerful effect indeed, and a good counter against this team. But the results from this team that I've found are much better than expected. The reason for that is because of Lancelot. I think he is secretly probably the best unit out of the bunch for in between all of the seasonal units, and he should be the one that you should prioritize your epic runes for, and also legendary runes for Lancelot. A lot of potential there, shall we say. Now, the reason that I've gone with Bastet and Mulan is to get that Mystifier synergy, and I've also gone with Gwyn, Bastet, Lancelot and Hades to get the Protector synergy as well. We do have 2 Deviants on the team in the form of Hades and Gwyn, and we do have the 1 Celestial on here as well. So at the start of battle, increases crit and attack by 25% for all allies. So just give us that little bit of extra damage percentage-wise. Is very good. You can change things out if you want. So if you don't have Hades, I would suggest putting Lancelot in this position here and filling it out with any one of the other Soul Eaters. Potentially, you want to go with Macaria, or you want to go with Cleo, or you want to go with Mastema, Arcdina. Any of those will get the job done. But this is the team setup that I've gone for because I do have a copy of Hades. Now, moving on to the next team, this is Cleo. So Cleo, I've gone through this team before. Same principle. It's having the 5 Soul Eaters and also the 4 enchanters on this team. So you've got Cleo. If you have her up to 8 star, she will also provide that enchanter synergy. If not, then you'll get the 3 dooms here. So you've got Dahlia, Cleo and Athena within the dooms synergy. And then the reason that I've gone for Mastema and Arcdina on this team is so we can get that 4 enchanters. So you have Athena, Mastema and Arcdina along with Cleo providing the 4 enchanters synergy as well. We do have 2 Celestials and 2 Deviants. The way to counter this team, or the problem with this team, is the same as with Hades. If you absorb these, it's just going to be these 2. And if either of these 2 get stolen, or either of these 2 go down, you're just sort of sitting in the water. The reason that I think that this team can be very successful is primarily because of the Enchanter synergy, but also because of the Doom synergy. Now, I've gone over this previously, but you might not have heard it in the last video because of my awful sound. It is what it is. Now, each time enemies take action, they take damage equal to the ally team reflect times the ally team's attack times 8% as well. So, having this ally team's attack included, when you've got Cleo in this center spot and she absorbs all of the... Hold on one sec. And she absorbs all of the units on here. So say she absorbs Dahlia, Masterma and Arcdina, and you're left with Athena. She will increase her attack and do massive reflect rate damage, which is why I've gone with this setup here. So you've got your Claw, which will reduce the enemy's reflect rate, good in the mirror. You've got your Whirling Blade, which will increase reflect rate or apply 1 stack of reflect rate increase to your team, and then the HP increase as well for the whip. And that's the team in a nutshell. The artifact that I've gone for is increase for Doom's attack. So 300% attack for Cleo when she performs her ultimate is very good. Let me tell you, 300% for Cleo when she performs her ultimate is very good. It also then factors into the reflect rate as well. Now, this here is the next team. It's a Glorian's Monarch team with Wu. Now, I played around with a couple of other units, a couple of other team builds for this. The other team, which I thought worked very, very, very well, would be something along these lines here. And then having Cleo. So if I take Cleo out, pop her in here, then move myself over here. We've got 5 Enigmas, 4 Enchanters, 4 Royals, 3 Glorians, 2 Celestials, 1 Light Seeker. Would have 2 Light Seekers if Ashlyn wasn't so... yeah, if Ashlyn wasn't so... low. Well, I say she's low, she's not. She's 14 stars. Just need a couple more copies of her and I'll have her up to Light Seeker as well. But this team puts in work, and let me show you what I mean by that. So I have just released a video, I believe it was a couple of hours ago, just detailing my road to get to Challenger. So if we have a look in my battle report, we can see I went against... Where have you gone? Cookies here. And this was the team that I built, and it worked very, very well. Also worked against Uriah as well. So Uriah, as you saw, was in top 10, and this team worked against his Dahlia, Cleo. You know, one of the meta teams, and it was quite convincing actually, quite a convincing win. So I'm just going to show you this one, and I'll just show you how this team functions. So you do have the 4 enchanters in Cleo. You have Wu here. You have your Corolla, and you have Ashlyn here as well. Now, the way that this team functions, or it works very well, is that enchanter synergy, applying the enchanters or the confuse mechanic to the enemies while staying alive. The artifact that I used was the first 3 rounds being invincible. The reason that I think that that's a very powerful mechanic for this particular team is because you don't lose that Holy Shield stack. So you can see the relics I went for. Zephyr Spear, I went for Flame Banner, and I went for the Exorcism Cauldron as well. And the way that it works is you will apply the confuse mechanic to as many enemies as possible. And then Corolla will swing in. She does an increase of 1000%. So Ashlyn to remove any debuffs that we do have, and that worked very, very well. And I'll show you that in just a second. So we get Wu to steal here, and then we get Dahlia to take out Merlin. And then what will happen is on this next round, we should get our energy up to 50. And then once our energy is up to 50, we will then steal another enemy. So yeah, so we do, as you can see, an active or the secondary active here, and we start building up. So we go to 20 here, go to 30, I think we go to 40, and then I think Corolla gets stunned here. Oh no, she does steal. So she steals enemy here. Yep, with that 50, we do steal another enemy, and in this case it was Cleo. So a very powerful effect there. And as you can see, we've stolen 2 enemies already, and we're only in round 4. In this next round, so when we come up to round 5, Wu will again steal an enemy. So Ophelia to kill the enemy, or to kill the enemy Cleo. And then we will steal again in round we'll steal again this round as well. So we'll see. We see Ashlyn. She removes a couple of debuffs here, absolutely fine. But Wu will go ahead and steal, in this case, Halissa. So that's what I mean by it's a very powerful setup. Very, very, very good team, in my opinion anyway. I did enjoy that team. Played around with it for the first two, and then unfortunately reverted all the way back. The problem is that I don't have enough relics to make that team function properly when I need to build 7 teams. So back to the teams themselves. We've gone through that team, and we've gone through this this Glorians team here. Very basic, having 4 Monarchs on the team, including Wu. So Wu can't lose more than, I think it's 40% of her overall health. Let's just check. Yeah, so she can't lose more than 40% of her health in one shot. I've also gone with the Glorians increase in attack. I've gone with banner. My banner is only at 2 stars, so it doesn't provide the holy shield, but can do. Has the potential to if you have it at higher stars. I've also gone with shield. The reason that I go with shield, it pairs really well with Audrey. So Audrey will absorb, whenever a shield is placed on Audrey, she will then dish it out to the rest of the team, so you can boost up your shields to almost infinite levels, effectively, as long as you keep pumping Audrey full of shields and just making sure that she's topped up. Your entire team will. It works very well in combination with Wu's ability to give 75% chance of 75% damage reduction. I think that Wu will be the only one out of the new units besides Lancelot. So out of Hades, Afro and Wu, Wu is the only one who needs epics to function properly. And the reason for that is because she gets 100% chance to proc 75% damage reduction. So this team will become exceptionally tanky after Wu gets her epics. It's going to be very fun, and I'm going to run that quite a bit next season, I think. Just depends on the synergies. Next team that I've gone for, pretty bog standard. This is the Avengers team that everybody really should be running. I think this is probably the best team in the game as it stands. Minus that awful team that Glasnost made. Oh my goodness. Don't ask him about it. He'll just send you loads of spam. But this is the team. I've just gone with the Avengers relic, or the Avengers artifact, sorry. Gone with chest. I've gone with the sphere over Blades of Chaos. You can run Blades of Chaos. Oh, hold on. You can run Blades of Chaos in this slot, but there's just so many ways of your holy shields being dispersed. Just for me, I've found that the sphere is a bit more reliable. Now, what the sphere does is it increases your max HP, so you can get up to 60% additional HP every time any unit on either side dies, which is very good. That's what you want to see in your Avengers team. You want the Strangers to die, you want Mavis to die, and you want Athena and Janet as well. Not Janet, sorry. You want Athena, you want Mavis, and you want potentially Nerissa, but more along the lines of the Stranger, and any enemy units to die as well. So you get that max HP increase a lot faster. I've gone with the Hand of Tyr just because it's a very standard relic, and we do have enough, I believe, we have enough different synergies in order to proc these twice. So the way that the chest works, I'm not too sure how familiar everybody is with it, but deploying a hero of each of 4 different faction synergies has a 40% chance to trigger the relics of the entire team 2 times. Now what that means is you need 4 different faction synergies. It's very important to pay attention to that because it does not include these. These are your rune synergies, the Shadow Arc synergies, Verdian, your Dawnbringers, your Celestials, your Royals, and your Deviants all count towards that. So the way that this works, if I just budge this down here, let's pop you over, let's move over here. We have Royals, we have Deviants, we have Celestials, we have Shadow Arc, and yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in the Shadow Arc from Mavis. So this will trigger 4 times. Sorry, this will have the chance to double the number of relics, relic activations that you get, which is very, very powerful effect. And it's all because we do have one DD unit, we have Celestials, Deviants, we have Royals, and yeah, so that all adds up to 4, which is why I've chosen to run the chest as well. Now, next team, standard Ethereals. Again, you can build this Ethereals team better. I really enjoy Katrina. I really enjoy the shields that she brings. I think it gives great survivability to the Ethereal team in general, who desperately need it. The reason that I've gone with Katrina over, say, Dorabella in this slot is primarily because of the Protector's synergy. So Katrina, Karnak, and Wukong will all trigger that Protector's synergy, and it will start to increase defense as we go through. The reason that I brought Eloin is because she's got a massive buff this season. Her Awakened skill got really buffed. Eudora is just standard. Everybody should really go after Eudora as much as they can, just because she is a staple. She is effectively the foundation of this team. The reason that I've not gone for Lysandra is a very good unit, but really, I have one other Deviant, I guess, on the team, but I don't have her runes here. So let's have a look. When Lysandra attacks a target with less speed, she applies 1 stack Holy Shield to herself. And then when Lysandra attacks, 1 stack Holy Shield at the start round applies 50% Pessimism. So I just don't have these runes available. So I probably would run Lysandra over Katrina, potentially. The one thing that lets this team down is the fact that Eudora does not have her skin. So in mirror matches, my team will lose because Eudora doesn't have her skin. If Eudora has her skin, if she has her, I don't know if I've ever shown it on this channel before, just because it's the most pay to win thing that I've ever seen in my life is this Eudora skin here. Plus 10 speed, plus 10 attack, plus 5 defense. It's just mental. This here will win you games. I promise you that. It will win you games if you buy that skin and you have Eudora leveled up. But there's a lot of heavy investment in this team, so potentially if you don't have Eudora, you don't have Eloin, you can instead on your Ethereals team run Portia and Dorabella to give the Monarch synergy, or even potentially a Nubia to try and combo with Karnak, but that I don't know if that works anymore, so just something to keep in mind. Now, relics, I've gone for Leviathan for the silence effect, because your ethereals are quite weak, especially with the share. I've gone with Gord, and then I've gone with the Excalibur weapon as well, or the Excalibur relic. That to me is really powerful. But we don't have a chrono relic, just because I only have 6 chrono relics, I think. I don't have the full. I don't have 7 chrono relics to put in there. Just the 6 that I've got. Now, next team, Valianters, very standard Valianters team. I've not got Hades in there because he's run on his own team this season. He probably will go into this build, and I'll probably put him in with instead of Macaria in this slot, because he links up well with Leandra. And then Elma and Victoria also have the Celestials in there as well. With regards to relics, I've gone with Death Scythe, I've gone with Shield, and I've gone with the Blades as well. As you can see, Blade's only 1 star, but it does give you an additional 10% attack. The Blade does very well with Deviant synergies, and we've got 2 Deviants on the team already. And the Mirror will bring one of our units, or a couple of our units, back to life. So it is what it is. This is I don't rate the Valianters team this season. I did last season. I got my Valianters up to Mythic. They were the 2nd team that I got up to Mythic last season. And the reason for that is because of the reflect and stun mechanic that you've got with them for this particular for the season. This season, not so much. It's not as good, I don't think. I've just gone with the standard Valiant's artifact, so increase 300% attack for them. And then this last team, I've gone with Doom's standard Doom's team. You've got Doris, Halissa, Ophelia, Lamia, and Ayushta. I could potentially take out one of these units in order to put Merlin in to link up with Halissa to give that Monarch synergy. But, I mean, who do I take out? Do I take out my exclusive rune Lamia? Or do I take out Ayushta, who's 13 stars? Do I take out Ophelia, who's got her exclusives? Do I take out Doris, who's got half red runes? No. For me, it's got to be Lamia until I get Merlin's. Um, until I get Merlin's either epics or half red runes. As you can see, I'm not too far away, but he's been like this for 6 months, so it is what it is. So physical damage reduction increased by 30% for all allies. Each time Merlin takes an action, he applies 1 stack of reflect boost. Really important for Halissa, to work well with Halissa. Yeah, I really think that if I had Merlin's exclusives, I would take out Aishta in this situation, or potentially Ophelia. Potentially Lamia in this particular team. Now, with regards to relics, I've gone with the spear, I've gone with the hammer, and I've gone with the scales as well. I could potentially take out the spear and replace it with crown, and that's about it really. So I don't have any other Doom's relics to go in this slot, so I have gone with spear just to give the additional protection and increased attack. This is to stun enemies because you can still kill an enemy unit even if they are stunned. They still take an action and therefore will still proc the reflect rate or reflect damage from Dooms. And then the scales as well to work with Ayushta. And then that's about it. So those are the 7 teams that I've gone for defensive wise. Again, it is very competitive. If you want to go ahead and steal these teams, absolutely fine. If you think that they're trash and that I should never run them, let me know down below what I should be running. Let me know a couple of teams that you think might be better, or a couple of units which I could replace on these teams. Yep, just let me know. It'd be nice to have some feedback, and I will leave it at that. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Again, my apologies for the sound on the last video. Turned it down this time and tried speaking up as well, so you guys get a more coherent video. Yeah, but thanks very much for watching. I do hope you have a fantastic day. And yeah, if you can like and subscribe, it'd be really appreciated. See ya.